Well, the cry came in there, fight for every ball. Really nice movement from Alcott, just closed down the space, forcing SCHRODER to play an angle that wasn't really on. Yeah, very nice touch, just taking all the pace off the ball. Much more dominant from SCHRODER in that exchange.
40-30.
After the opening passing shot down the line, he's barely been able to get a clean strike on the ball in control of a rally. That was much more competitive.
Alcott wraps up the first game by 40 points to 30. A strong start from the Australian. As you said, SCHRODER, great first point, but after that didn't really get a look in.
Yes, a strong hold of serve with just little indications here and there of where the threat comes with SCHRODER. That just lovely, elegant forehand strike that he has. But if Alcott can keep him moving around and make it difficult for him to play that shot under full control, then that's where things could be problematic for the Dutch athlete. When they met on a hard court most recently, that was the final of the Australian Open. It was a 6-1, 6-love win for Alcott. The last two meetings have been on different surfaces.
Well, what a shot that was.
15.
Yes, they've both begun their first games as the receiver with a real shot across the bows. Yeah, that's another brilliant return of serve. It's a clever return of serve as well. One strike of the ball and SCHRODER had lost all position.
That was great vision from Alcott. Reading the game well.
Yeah, I mean, the dexterity of that. Oh, well, yes, as Alcott indicates, he's thinking his way to 3 break points. He is right, that was clever stuff.
Well, there's the break. Alcott is fired up. He wants this. Yeah, some really, really clever play for him. 2-love lead for the Australian.
And that's not just a break, that's a love break. Restricting Sam SCHRODER completely in his first service game. What a statement. One of the things that Alcott has that makes him so compelling and so unpleasant as an opponent is his ability to scramble. He can think whilst moving fast, and he can produce shots of great quality whilst seemingly on the defensive. That most prized of qualities in a tennis player is the ability to extend the rally. Not extending that one. That's gone. That's out of the building.
15.
That's a great response from the Dutch athlete.
Those returns of serve down the line are known as being the trickiest ones for wheelchair tennis players to contend with. That is a little piece of poetry from Dylan Alcott. What a stunning rally. I mean, the shot making from the pair of them. Sam SCHRODER won that point about 3 times. It's just that Alcott didn't agree with him. He seemed to have it wrapped up.
That was the rally of the match so far. Great shot selection from Alcott. And yeah, SCHRODER was working so hard for that, but absolutely nothing to show for it.
That is a beautiful, clean strike going cross court.
30.
He's going to have to exploit every last millimetre of the court in order to put away Dylan Alcott. He's got to push for the lines.
And now the break for SCHRODER. Break point, rather. Not quite the break yet, getting ahead of myself.
It's all right, he heard you. He got there anyway.
And there's the break.
Well, you didn't doubt it, and Sam SCHRODER didn't doubt it either. He's a confident player, and that's a very good response from the Dutch athlete, especially when you consider that he conceded his first service game to love. Well, we're back on serve.
Time.
Back on serve now in this first set, and after having been broken to love in his last service game, what can Sam SCHRODER produce now?
That's what he can produce now.
15 love.
Deal.
30 love.
Well, to make that adjustment and make that lob, that's good, quick thinking.
13-15.
May well have heard the gasp from Alcott as he realised he was going to have to really work for that. That is absolutely extraordinary.
40-15.
That was inch perfect, wasn't it?
And from far back as well.
Game SCHRODER.
Well, SCHRODER holds serve. Two games apiece here in the first set.
Yes, he's already won, Sam SCHRODER, twice as many games as he did when they met in the final of the Australian Open across the entire match.
Well, that doesn't bode well for Dylan Alcott, does it?
Very little about the way Sam SCHRODER plays bodes well for anyone that he's facing. And I think your point is an interesting one, because it's clear that SCHRODER's getting better and better. It's very easy to write changing of the guard narratives before it actually happened, though, and that's always a danger when a great young player is coming through.
Love 15.
That was excellent work from Sam SCHRODER. He was pleased with that point as well.
What a good serve, though.
15-13.
That's a run of 3 unanswered points for
14-13.
Alcott.
There's the difference. The serve on that occasion very firmly into the hitting zone of Sam SCHRODER. On those previous points, Alcott much stronger with his first serve. Well, he forced SCHRODER into a shot that, again, much like earlier when Alcott came into the net, wasn't really on.
No, he wasn't in the right position at all. He did well to get a racket to it, but it's a pretty impossible angle to try to return from.
There was a little bit of space for SCHRODER to exploit there. A couple of loose shots from the Dutch player in that game. And from a position of disadvantage from love 30, Dylan Alcott manages to hold.
Sam SCHRODER making his way back out onto the court. And we are finally poised here in this first set. On serve. Alcott coming from 30 love down in the last game to hold serve. And now it is the turn of Sam SCHRODER, serving at 2-3. What a point. It was
15
absolutely exquisite from Schroeder. What an angle. Oh, that must be the shot of the match so far.
30 love.
That backhand, Schroeder's backhand is just incredible. Wow, what a response from Dylan Alcott. Schroeder was finding the angles,
20-15.
making the Australian work for every return, but Alcott had the answer. And what a point.
$40-15. Game Schroeder.
So impressive in that game, Sam Schroeder. That, I think, is the game of the match so far. What an impressive hold for the Dutch player, and I think we're seeing him close to his best.
What a fabulous first half a dozen games of tennis. It's everything that you aspire to witness in a gold medal match in any sport. You want to see the finest standard of play on the biggest stage of all. We have it. Alcott does so much work with young people as part of his Dylan Alcott Foundation. Huge commitment to not just financial support, that's part of the process and part of his modus operandi, but it's also about mentorship. On the subject of guidance, that had impeccable guidance on it from Sam Schroeder. 10 winners now for the Dutch athlete. But Alcott has spoken with great conviction about the need to not just open doors for people, but to help lead them through it. He was and has been very frank about the bullying that he received when he was a child, and what he feels extremely strongly about is helping young people with impairments to receive real guidance. What a take on the volley.
That was absolutely breathtaking.
14-15.
He's really stretching as he plays that. He's moving fast.
Yeah, he hit that with utter conviction.
Oh, he got there in the end, but boy, did he have to work for that.
40-13.
The court coverage from Dylan Alcott during that exchange, and that is the classic axiom of the racket sports player: make your opponent play another shot. Just keep it going, you never know what'll happen. And 8 out of 10 times, SCHRODER will win that rally, but every so often, the error might come. That's a really good defensive recovery shot from Sam SCHRODER. It's a difficult one for Alcott to take. It was very much dropping from out of the skies. But that's hugely impressive from SCHRODER, because he was well out of position. Actually, exactly the point that we were making about Alcott just before. SCHRODER just getting it back somehow.
Advantage, SCHRODER.
Well, a breakpoint opportunity now for SCHRODER.
Game, SCHRODER.
And he does it. SCHRODER gets himself ahead. He breaks for 4-3 in this first set. Well, the tennis we are witnessing is really quite incredible.
Time.
Well, it is Sam SCHRODER who has the advantage here. He found the break to lead by 4-3. He has the serve now. Can he consolidate that lead? Or will we see Alcott come roaring back?
Yeah, there's no question this is the game for Sam SCHRODER. This is the one. Get the hold of serve here and suddenly all the pressure is on that gentleman.
It happens quite often, doesn't it, that you see a player break only to be broken again in their service game. So it's vitally important to hold on to that advantage, keep the pressure on.
Yeah, it's something that a lot of coaches And indeed, great players will say is a break is not a break until you've won your next service game. It's a good return to serve from Alcott. Again, it's marvellously played. What a reaction from Dylan Alcott. We stand at a crossroads in this contest. Alcott just asking himself, what am I doing there? He's 50-50 for points won on second serve, SCHRODER.
Game SCHRODER.
Well, you said a break isn't a break until you've won your next service game, and SCHRODER's done that, so I guess that's a break.
And it could be a big break as well for SCHRODER in this match, because Alcott now has got to hold serve to continue his involvement in the first set. Big opportunity coming up for the Dutch athlete. That's a great take from Alcott. Quick reactions. He makes a shot like that look extremely easy, but the lightness of touch that's required, remarkable. Seeking to interrupt a run of 3 consecutive games from SCHRODER. That just sizzled past Alcott.
30-15.
High number of winners from both of them.
40-15.
What a way to deal with that tricky shot from Sam SCHRODER. You like tricks? Here's one of mine. Dylan Alcott has just given an impeccable parry riposte to his opponent.
And an important hold for the Australian to stay in this set, and what a way to do it. Sam SCHRODER making his way back onto court, as is Dylan Alcott. Sam SCHRODER serving for the set.
I'm sorry, but how on earth did he just win that point?
Love 15.
That was one of the most remarkable pickups I've ever seen.
I'm actually still trying to process what we've just seen.
That's very dominant play from Alcott, and he is one of those athletes who does enjoy the challenge of being attacked on the court. He likes having to fight for a point. Yeah, made to pay there, Alcott, and his reaction indicates that he knows he just didn't quite get enough angle on those volleys. And what a chance it was actually to have 3 break points. Well, this is a point of some substance. Huge moment coming up.
And this is another huge moment. A chance for Alcott to cancel out that break, even things up.
That is a marvellous break of serve from Dylan Alcott.
5 games over.
What an important moment in this match. And his facial expressions say it all, really.
Well, this is now a test psychologically of the young man from the south of Netherlands. Oh, he did well to get onto that. It was a great serve from Alcott. SCHRODER was so far wide when he made contact with the ball. Super athleticism. We should contextualise that Alcott has lost only one match this year in singles competition. The semi-final of the French Riviera Open on clay to Sam SCHRODER. Oh. First ace of the match. I acknowledged that straight away, almost before it had passed him, said to Sam SCHRODER, good shot, because he knew Alcott that there was no way he was getting near it.
Well, an important hold for Dylan Alcott. Just wonder what the difference between these two will be. Who is going to find that breakthrough? They've both broken each other, then broken back. And as the scoreline suggests, it's been pretty even. They've both been playing absolutely outstanding tennis.
Yeah, one wonders if this has got tie-break written all over it. Let's find out.
Time.
Well, you said this might have tie-break written all over it, and that will depend on Sam SCHRODER's service game.
The two times that SCHRODER has beaten Alcott, the first sets have been monstrous. That 7-5, 6-4 win in the French Riviera Open, 7-6 tie-break first set win in the US. Great play from Alcott. He had SCHRODER on the defensive straight away. I mean, SCHRODER again does well to meet that, but the space has been created.
He's been so good at that throughout this match, Alcott.
Ben Anderson has just had to remind the delegations watching on to be quiet during the point. Again, Alcott. It's a really nice touch, that, actually. Think about the principles of these games, the principles of the Olympic and Paralympic movement. He called out, good shot, mate, to SCHRODER.
14-15.
That's a great spot from SCHRODER.
6 games all tie-break. Both players receive one
That
additional
was
challenge.
a wonderful winner from Sam SCHRODER, and it has earned a tiebreak. I don't know if earned is the right word, but we are going to a tiebreak.
I think earned is exactly the right word, because nothing is coming for free in this match. That last shot from SCHRODER was evidence of his great vision. Good decision maker. They both are great decision makers, and well, they are inseparable, and thus we go on.
I think we should just call it now and say they both deserve the gold.
Alcott.
Haven't been too many where SCHRODER's not got the length quite right. He's only had 8 unforced errors now in the match, same as his opponent. Contrast 17 winners. I was about to say Alcott has had 16 winners, but now had 17.
3-0 Alcott.
Got to get this point because the tie-break is starting to slip away.
Slipping even further away.
Alcott.
That is a most useful piece of assistance to Sam SCHRODER from Dylan Alcott.
Well, it doesn't matter how he's got the points on the board. What matters is the fact that he's got the points on the board. I'll take them.
He was well beaten in that exchange, Dylan Alcott.
4-2, Alcott.
Suddenly, SCHRODER has injected vivacity into this tiebreak. Perfect placement from the world number one.
5-2, Alcott.
That was a tennis ball met with perfection. No, stop it.
He can't believe it either.
6-2.
That is pure fantasy.
I've never seen anything like that before. Well, what a way to win this opening set. Dylan Alcott holds his nerve in the tie-break. And with some absolutely stunning tennis, he takes the first set. 7-6.
And he takes it well too. 7-2 in the tiebreak. If you are Sam SCHRODER, then you've just been hit hard, having produced an awful lot of exemplary tennis. Best part of an hour. SCHRODER gets himself to 6-all, and then that tiebreak is just whipped away from him.
It's hard to believe that Alcott came from a breakdown. He was a different player in that tiebreak. He found another level, it seemed, and he was absolutely ruthless.
Well, we look back at some of the finest moments from this first set. It seems almost crude to reduce it to a matter of 20, 30 seconds or so. And I think that whoever has had the job of compiling these highlights has had one of the most unenviable tasks to the Paralympics so far, because how do you leave anything out?
Time.
What a spectacular first set we enjoyed. What a dramatic end to the opening set. Dylan Alcott fired up, having taken that tiebreak.
SCHRODER to
It is SCHRODER to open the second, and he has the serve.
Well, safe to say the centre court in the Ariake Tennis Park, known as the Colosseum, is giving us the contest that is fast approaching the mythological days of the ancient world in terms of the standards that we are seeing. It's a nice nod to the ancient Olympics.
15:30.
The most famous of all the Colosseums, the Flavian Amphitheatre. Not actually known as a Colosseum, I think, until about the Middle Ages. It was a name retrospectively applied. Ooh, not many moments like that.
30.
Not many moments like that either.
Oh, that is so cruel on Sam SCHRODER, because he covered so much ground in order to keep this in play. That reach was remarkable, and Alcott just sent it beyond him. Oh, the reaction from SCHRODER, the wry smile of a man who could not have given more. It's another touch of delicacy and finesse, entirely in contrast to the reaction of Dylan Alcott after he played it. Nothing delicate about that.
Alcott backs up his first set win with an early break, leading by a game to love.
That just keeps the pressure on young Sam SCHRODER, doesn't it?
Absolutely, and he is under pressure, and Alcott is looking so aggressive, so fired up.
Perhaps more worryingly, he looks like he's having fun. And that is one of the most liberating positions for any athlete to be out on the field of play is to be striking the ball in such a way as they're really enjoying themselves. And Alcott is the kind of player who can just generate such sensational momentum when he's out on court. He's got incredible self-belief, and any great athlete, the very top people in whatever field they're competing in, they have that unshakable sense of self-belief. It doesn't matter what happens. They can be 6-love losers of the first set. They will still believe that they're going to win the match.
Absolutely, it's that extra 10%. Can have all the natural talent in the world, but if the self-belief isn't there, then you're not going to get that far.
There are some athletes who are exceptional qualification athletes. They perform fantastically in the early stages of a competition, and then the mental aspects of the sport can become problematic when they get to a final, when they're just one step away from a medal. And Alcott, he grows into a competition as it goes on.
That's the beauty of tennis as well. When you're out there on the court, it's just you versus your opponent.
And would you want him to be your opponent?
Absolutely not, no. I'm happy to watch.
But one thing is clear, is that SCHRODER is a player who fears no one. He's quiet, SCHRODER. He's sometimes almost unnoticeable at the other end of the court against somebody like Alcott. But by the way, he's got 3 breakback points.
Well, that's the first one saved. But you're right, you get the impression with SCHRODER, he's just quietly getting the job done.
Well, you don't need a tennis racket, you need a pneumatic drill to get that one out of the ground. That was played as low as a shot can be played.
Second breakpoint opportunity gone.
And one would have to say, gone because they've been saved by Alcott with excellent points.
And that's the third saved.
It's one of the interesting features of a racket sport is that sometimes the receiver loses the break point, sometimes the server saves the break point. And that can have a very different impact psychologically on you as a player. Sometimes as the player breaking, you feel you didn't take your chance. Sometimes you feel you were given no chance because there was nothing you could do about it. How often we see, you know, a player is 2 break points down, they serve 2 aces.
It is amazing how quickly momentum can shift in that respect. Alcott on the verge of a hold now, having been love 40 down. Alcott consolidates his advantage He backs up his early break with a service hold, and he now leads by 2 games to love.
Every single tennis match contains what might have been moments, and that is one of our clearest ones so far. From love 40, Alcott consolidating the break of serve, and there was a moment, well, there were 3 moments where one wondered, is the momentum going to shift back in the direction of Sam SCHRODER? And Alcott at his most dangerous when under pressure, at his best when facing adversity from the excellent young Dutch player.
Absolutely, you said it before, he loves a fight. Alcott.
Love 15.
And then the first double fault in the match from Sam SCHRODER.
Second service.
Well, he made his decision very clearly, Alcott. Didn't turn out to be the right one. The intent was rather signposted, telegraphed. Oh, goodness!
15-13.
That has got to be one of the single finest shots played at these games. SCHRODER plays it into the net when there may well have been space to cultivate. There, just again, the evidence of what a contest we are privileged to enjoy in this quad singles gold medal match at the 2020 Games of the Paralympiad.
Alcott with the double break. Sam SCHRODER fought back with an absolutely incredible point to save the first break point opportunity, but couldn't save the second. Momentum very much shifted now in this quad singles gold medal match. It is Dylan Alcott with the double break leading by 3 games to love.
Time.
Well, what can Sam SCHRODER do? He is a double breakdown against Dylan Alcott, who we've said before is clearly enjoying himself now. Playing so well, playing so aggressively. Finding an answer to everything that SCHRODER throws at him. And SCHRODER is not playing badly.
You make a very important observation that we would all of us do well just to stop and cement in our minds that SCHRODER has played a very fine match. SCHRODER would be beating an awful lot of people handsomely right now. There's evidence of it. It's such a clean and crisp return of serve. Oh, how did he meet that? That had all the satisfaction of a warm knife travelling through chilled butter.
And to produce tennis like that under pressure, when you're a double break and a set down, rather than throw in the towel and think, this is insurmountable, the task ahead of me.
Yeah, Sam SCHRODER doesn't throw in the towel, ever. We talk about the accomplishments of Sam SCHRODER as a 21-year-old already at world #2, having enjoyed this brilliant move through to the senior level of competition. All of that considering that whilst he was the world #1 junior, he had to receive treatment for cancer. Lost an enormous part of his junior career. Just 3 years ago.
That's an incredible story. Amazing resilience.
Been playing the sport for about 10 years, much like Alcott. Tried a number of different wheelchair sports. Said he knew after the very first tennis lesson that it was the one. Hasn't he met that sensationally? Because that was a great serve.
Alcott leads by 4 games to 1.
Brilliant response to that double break.
Here we go, Gil. Go out, baby. Let's get it. Come on, baby, come on.
Of course, we saw that in the first set. SCHRODER going down a break, breaking back, breaking again. This match far from over.
Love 15.
Go get it, baby, go get it.
Again, Alcott acknowledging that he was bested.
15 all.
It's a problematic time for the second double fault. What lovely direction.
30 all.
Knew exactly how to craft the space and then exploit it.
Net for service.
Well, Alcott, I think, said, "Oh, you're kidding," and his sentiment rather sums up, I think, how we're all feeling. Yeah, he steered that just beautifully. The length on that shot, along with the pace, just too much for SCHRODER. Oh, another one! They just keep producing the most outstanding winners. I mean, we've always known that SCHRODER has an exquisite shot from that kind of position. That's one of the finest.
Well, we talked before about saving breakpoint, and that was definitely breakpoint saved.
Advantage, SCHRODER.
Good job, Dale, good job.
Juice.
Yeah, that was a very tricky one for SCHRODER to do anything with.
Advantage.
Positionally, that was most unpleasant. Well, that one stopped on the net, sat there, had a look around, made its mind up. This game just keeps on going.
SCHRODER.
What a marvellous return of serve. Just perfect.
Juice. Advantage, Alcott.
Come on, Bill. Get up, baby. Get up. Get up.
Juice.
Is this going to be, as we hit deuce for the 6th time in this game, the momentum changing or momentum solidifying moment in the match? Sometimes these single epic games can be the determining factor. Yes, that was a touch of finesse and again very clever.
Advantage, Alcott.
Even though SCHRODER knew it was coming, there was nothing he could do. It's all about Alcott's judgment.
Good job, mate.
And that was great judgment from SCHRODER.
Juice.
Juice number 7, is this?
Thumped it. Just good old-fashioned thumped it.
Advantage, Alcott.
He is pumped up, and rightly so. He finally converts the advantage
Alcott leads.
to take that seemingly never-ending game. He leads by 4 games to 1, and that gold medal is getting closer.
Time.
This is the quad singles gold medal match between that man, Sam SCHRODER, the world #2, and Dylan Alcott, the defending champion. Alcott leads by a set and by 4 games to 1 here in the second. And just how important will that last game prove to be? SCHRODER had the chance to break. Many chances, in fact, couldn't convert. And it is now Alcott who is in the privileged position of being a double break up.
Come on, Dylan!
The thing is, it can be so difficult
30 love.
after such a long game if you're the player that has exited in the wrong direction. If you've just lost that game, especially if you've been broken, especially after the work you put in to get one of the breaks back. But let us speak plainly. There are no question marks about the mental readiness of Sam SCHRODER. He's 21. He's already won a gold medal here at the Paralympics. He's already won a Grand Slam title. He just happens to be playing the player, the #1, the top competitor. And there is evidence of it. It's no wonder he reacts as he does. It's another showpiece, show-stealing, possibly gold medal winning moment. Breathtaking.
5 games to 1.
Absolutely incredible display from Dylan Alcott. 5-1 lead in this second set. Sam SCHRODER serving to stay in the match.
And even under that degree of pressure, he still is able to produce that kind of quality. He's almost there.
15-13.
And he's doing it in double quick time. Can often be the case that when a player loses a really tight first set, the second is much more rapid. Do you know, Alcott nearly managed to keep that going.
30 all.
It's evidence of how hard he has forced SCHRODER to work for every single point.
Gold medal points for Dylan Alcott.
30-14.
If he wins this point, he wins back-to-back Paralympic titles in the quad singles division. And he's done it! Gold for Australia, Dylan Alcott with his arms aloft.
6-1.
What an incredible display from an outstanding athlete.
Well, in the setting of the Ariake Coliseum, we see something that is worthy of a great gladiatorial contest. And the nature of gladiatorial contests is that there is always a winner and there is always a loser, but there will be no thumbs down for either of these competitors. This was a sensational performance from both. Sam SCHRODER has lost, but he departs as a Paralympic champion, and he departs with an enormous grin on his face as the defending and retaining Paralympic champion.